What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video from LTH. My name is Abe, and this is our series of learning the Linux terminal. This video, we're going to talk about Linux processes, okay? And don't forget, every video has a link to our website with all the copyable commands and descriptions if you'd like to go into more detail or if I go too fast at any point. As well as we are starting a community owned and operated and voted for data center. So please help us fund that by liking, subscribing, commenting, interacting, and sharing the videos. And, giving any monetary value if you'd like via our Patreon or just by being a viewer. But let's get on with the video. Okay, so we're logged into our Linux environment, and as well as if you would like to follow us along, go follow that playlist that I showed earlier. But we are going to talk about the PS command, which stands for processes, and it shows us a snapshot of currently running PSs. It lists details like the process ID, user, CPU memory usage, and stats command. So PS, the A shows all users, PSs. The U shows details like user, CPU, and memory, and X shows us all the controlling terminals for those PSs. And so if I scroll back to the top here, we can see each column's category based on that information. Like I said, this could be really good if you are like suspecting maybe your system was hacked, or you want to see like what thing is using all your memory and CPU usage because your system's running slow, or just doing your due diligence to make sure you're not over allocating whatever system this is and those PSs that it's running. Okay. So the next command we're going to cover is the controlling terminal, or something known as the TTY. It's essentially a terminal that devices are associated with their PSs. Many processes can run without a TTY, especially things like daemons or backgrounds, okay? And so this is the command right here. So what does this stand for? PS shows the processes. -E lists all processes on the system, not just the ones belonging to the currently logged in user. The PS ID is for the PS's identification, right? The TTY is for the terminal associated with that PS's, and then the command line, or what started that PS. So again, same thing, you would scroll up to the top and you could just figure out this information, and then again, if it has a terminal or not, and then the command that it is running, and then that ID number. Okay. So again, this can be good if you're looking for something, trying to figure out a command that's running, security purposes, also just to understand what's running in the background of your system. And so we have a similar one, which is the PS's ID, or the PS details, sorry. And it looks like this. So again, very similar. The PS's. E is for all users. O specifies the output format. And then these are the columns that we would like to be presented to us for every single one of them. Now, we have one slightly different thing in here, and that is the stat command, okay? And so the stat command is representing what is the status of the thing that is running. So it could be asleep, it could be running, it could be stopped, whatever. So that will be displayed here for stopped, interactive, whatever else, okay? And an example is like R is running as well, okay? So now that we can see them, we know where they are, we know how to find their IDs, and we know how to find their resource utilization within our system. What about creating them? So that can be done with a command like so. And this process, or PSs, are created when a parent process forks a child. Common shells or applications spawn new processes, so you can observe new processes by running this command. Remember, we talked about the AUX, sort them, the start time. Tail is saying give us the last 10 that have been started, okay? And so we can see the user, the ID number, the start time, and then what it was that it started. So if we want to terminate a process that we have found running, that can be normally done by a terminating signal. This removes that PS from the table, and you can kill it with that PID number. So here is the command that we'd use, which is, it's the kill command. So we will do kill dash sig term and then the PID number. And in our case, the PID number will be 15, 9, 19, or 18. So 15 is a polite termination request. 9 is forceful termination. 19 is suspend the process. And 18 is resume the process. Okay, so when I say sig term, we're going to go back here and put in that number in that placeholder. In our case, we want to do kill dash 15, polite termination, and then a process ID like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that will politely take the time to terminate the process. Okay, so that is how you will kill it. Okay, so the next thing we could do is also just kill an application by its name with pkill. So process kill Firefox, for example. So let's open this. So it's running. And now that this is running, we can see it's open right there. I can do pkill Firefox, and we can see that it went away. So that's another way to kill processes in your thing. Okay, so let's talk about niceness. It's a value affecting process priority. Lowers niceness means higher priority. So a lower number means a higher priority, and you want critical system infrastructure to have a lower value, and you can start a process with a niceness priority value. So you could do nice dash n for number 10. So remember lower, and then the command will go right here. So if we want to change the nice command, which I have a typo, you would do it like this. So I just did PSL to see my processes, and then the nice column with NI. And so we could do nice number 10 command bash. And so it will change this command bash to a nice number to then give it a specific priority. Or we can do renice if there's a value, and then do 5 and then the PID. So here for bash, that would be our PID. And then you could change this process specifically to that new nice value. So pretty simple. Just allows you to prioritize things. Maybe you're doing an application or trying to run something and you'd like it to have priority on the system. You would do that with the nice command. So the next command I just want to go into a little bit deeper on is this command, ps-eo PID state and CMD, right? And this will give us the states and this column. So R is for running, S is for sleeping, T is for stopped, I is for idle, and zombie is for Z, or a terminated process waiting for a parent cleanup. So that can also allow you to see, hey, is my process running? Should it be running? Whatever that might be. In this case, we can see our command is running because it just checked the status of all these PSs for us. The next part I want to go over is the proc file system, those processes file system. So there's a couple commands we can do. We can just do ls. And then within here, we can just see a ton of files, and they're the process files as well. And then let's say we want to learn more about a specific one of these processes and the file system and what it's affecting on the system. We can do that with this command. So cat proc the ID number, the process ID number, the PID, and then status. And then we can read through this and see what is this process. So we can get the process name, the mask, what's it doing. It's sleeping right now. It's not running. The PID number, the parent ID number. So we could figure out what the parent is for this process. We could go through and see the virtual machine size, how much of the resources within this server it's running and it's using and whatnot. So this can just be another useful tool for you to have a better understanding of the state of a process, the information, and just general details behind that. But that is as deep as we're going to go with this specific piece. Okay guys, so the last command that I want to go over is job control. Job control allows managing background and foreground processes interactively in a shell. And some of the important commands are BG, which resumes the job in the background, FG brings the job to the foreground, and then the command jobs itself, JOBS, lists current jobs. So if we want to start a long running job in the background for the purpose of an example, we could do sleep 300 like that. And now we've started a command sleep 300. We should see an output like this. So it is process 2 with the process ID 9121. We can list our jobs with jobs just like this. So we can see that we have a stop job and a running job, just like so. Now, let's say we have this sleep 500 job. We're currently in its terminal, all right, in the foreground. We're currently running. That's why we have this blink. We could type in this terminal if it was some type of piece of software and not an example. And we could do Control Z to stop the job. And we can see job 3 has now been stopped. So if we type jobs, this job is also asleep now, okay? Now, let's say we want to resume that job in the background. We could use the command BG background %, in our case, number 3. And then we do jobs again, and it's running. So it could be a script, it could be an application, it could be whatever that you're running in the background and you want it to run, but maybe you need to stop some jobs to not oversaturate your server or your system or your network, or you're trying to do a lot of different things and you just want to be careful about that. And now let's say you want to kill a job because you're done using it, or you want to move on to something else. You will use the kill command, the %, and then the number. In our case, we'll do 3. I'll do 2. And I'll do 1. Control L. Type jobs. And it might take, there it goes, a couple seconds. But we can see now all of our jobs are terminated and no longer respond. So this is just a way to control, create, and interact with different processes, right? Through that BG, FG, and jobs command. I know it's kind of hard to like grasp and put some of these commands and trainings into the real world, but they're good to know about them. And then there may be cases that you run into something like this and you may need to use it in the future, but you don't remember the command. You'll at least be aware of it and know how to get from point A to point B with a little bit of Googling, and now this knowledge of being shown or exposed to this information. Thank you for watching. My name is Abe, signing off with another video.